So back down we go. I probably should be trying to end this episode at some point, I think, because I don't want to like just end it abruptly. I'd rather just have like a proper send-off, like, hey, this is the end of episode 1, etc. So we have to at some point end this episode. I don't know when. We'll figure it out. Before I go down, I'm gonna buy some ropes from the merchant. Then we're gonna head down because we just can't combat the zombies or anything else because they're too strong for us. But we have to do some inventory management first. And I'm gonna also buy a couple more of these. Yeah. Now, I usually use piggy banks. I set them up at fishing spots. We're gonna be doing a lot of fishing, but don't worry, you guys aren't gonna be seeing that. But we are gonna be doing a bunch of fishing at some point. I should also probably carry 2 piggy banks so that whenever I have to put one down, I don't have to set it as a favorite every time. But yeah, we're gonna head back down and then yeah, fishing. We're gonna be doing lots of fishing. You guys won't have to see it, but I like to fish a lot, especially in this game mode that we're doing right now. So like this, and I think we could actually afford this. We got really lucky with that golden coin portal thing. I never normally buy the mining helmet, but like, why not at this point, right? Since we have like a bunch of gold that we kind of just went through. I'm gonna buy some more torches because we want to make more fire arrows. Because the fire arrows are hella OP. The best arrows that are like cost effective for us would be the frostburn arrows, but we can't make those until we get ice from the snow biome. So we're gonna head back down and we're gonna continue digging. We have the mining helmet, but if you didn't have the mining helmet, one thing you can do is just throw a glow stick down on your ground when you're on the ground when you're making a elevator like this, and it'll go down with you as you tunnel downward. So that's a cool little tip you can do. I'm sure everyone probably knows that though. So I'm gonna take the liberty to get some of this ore that's over here, and like it's so crazy how fast you mine in For the Worthy compared to like regular mode, regular Terraria. Because we shouldn't be mining this fast, but like thanks to like the passive mining buff you get in For the Worthy, we mine incredibly fast. It's really cool. But we're gonna go. Oh, ooh, do you see that? That's really nice. So for right now, it's better for us to use our fire arrows since they do have some slight DOT. Not that it's a lot, but at least it's stronger and yeah, I think a little bit faster than the blowpipe. But the blowpipe's also a good alternative for us. But yeah, we're gonna go get that life crystal. Oh no, that's not good. You know what that means? That we didn't fix our spawns up here. So like, mobs can only spawn on flat surfaces. So they're not gonna spawn on like the walls or anything, but they will spawn in like these areas that have like at least 1 block for them to spawn, and probably spawn here then jumped over. So we want to just make sure that we cover up our elevator, cover up the side so that mobs aren't falling onto us like that, because it could have been a stronger mob, which would be bad for us. So let's get the life crystal. Now we want to keep our HP at 180 until we're ready to fight bosses, because if we go over 180 HP, then that gives Cthulhu a chance to spawn. Eye of Cthulhu. Eye of Cthulhu spawns if these 3 things are satisfied. I believe it's you have to have at least like 3 NPCs, 200 HP or more, and what's the last one? It hasn't been defeated yet, I think. Then if those things are satisfied, it has a chance to spawn every night. So we're basically gonna keep our HP at 180 until we're ready to actually start fighting the Eye of Cthulhu. But yeah, because we're playing For the Worthy, we should expect to see this a lot more often. Just like lava and obsidian really close to the surface. So we're gonna go get some bombs so we can get some obsidian real quick. Okay, so I was trying to get some clay blocks and we actually managed to find some topaz. Now, when you start the game, every gem you get is extremely good because you can turn the gem into gem corns that could potentially get you more gems. And gem corns are basically trees that they grow underground, and they have a chance to give you more gems whenever you collect them. So that way you can like sustain like a gem farm basically. And we could use gems for a couple of things, like if you're playing mage, you could use them for robes or like gem staves. And we can also make hooks out of them, which when you start the game, any hook, even if it's an amethyst hook, It's still better than nothing. Is that actually enough? This is actually enough for us to make a topaz hook. Then we're also gonna make, I'm gonna show you guys how to set up a gem corn farm. And we could use that to make a lot of money because you can make stained glass from the gems and they sell for a bunch of money. So that's gonna be our main breadwinner in pre-hard mode at least. So let's go ahead and make a topaz hook. That's a really good hook. We could always upgrade it later to a better hook, but that'll do for now. And then we want to make gem corns. So the way you make gem corns, all you need is an acorn and the gem of your liking. We're gonna make a couple of topaz gem corns. That'll get us started with a gem corn farm, and then we could use those gems to make a bunch of money. And we'll change the gems as we get better gems. Topaz are pretty like low quality gem, but either way, even if it's a low quality gem like amethyst or topaz, it still gets you lots of money. So we're gonna be using this for money. And we have to actually plant these underground. So what I will do is set up caverns layer farm. And the reason we're going to set up a caverns layer farm is that we can also use our cavern pylon once it's active. Once we're able to purchase it, we could use the pylon to teleport there easily to quickly farm our harvest our farm basically. So we're gonna dig down to the caverns and then we're gonna set up the farm there. But back to the original plan of using these bombs to blow up the obsidian, because we can't mine obsidian unless we have I think one of the corrupt, like a what's it called, demonite or crimtane bow, not bow. We need like one of the, so without those we're gonna have to bomb them, which is fine. The obsidian isn't like too great for us right now, but it's at least decent to have. We could make the obsidian skull, but as a ranger they're not like too useful for us. Oh, I'm flooding a cave with lava. That might not be good, but it doesn't matter too much, hopefully. I almost died. So I have something weird going on here. There's a slime stuck in the ground and I can't really hit it. And I'm afraid to let it out because it's probably going to do hella damage to me. So why don't I just do this and see if that works. Alright, cool. Now I can actually kill it. Or just keep it trapped in there, it doesn't really matter to me. Okay, sun time, so you know the drill. We're gonna go back to the right and we're gonna try to find our little snow biome, hopefully. But I might as well just come back here and we'll quickly just make the obsidian skull. I'll make like 2. Oh, we can only make 1. But back over to the right, we're gonna try to find the snow biome, see what's over here. If it's not over here, then we'll go back to the other side. I believe the way Terraria works, I think it's either the snow biome and the desert are on opposite sides, but I don't really know if that's the truth. Maybe I should search it up. But either way, like if that's the case, we should probably go head to the left then, since we already checked the right, and you know, the left has the desert, so the snow biome should be on the right by process of elimination. But I'm gonna explore the surface anyway, because it's good to do that so you can get some early chests and whatnot. Now for the worthy, we're not gonna really rush the floating islands just yet, because the floating islands have the world evil, so they're gonna be crimson floating islands, and also they're gonna be locked with golden chests, golden keys that you need to get from the dungeon. So no reason for us to really rush the floating islands just yet, unless we want to just like harvest the blocks, which we don't want to do that. So that's pretty cute. We got a bow from the slime that had a bow, so we'll put it on. While we are here, we're gonna collect some sand because we're gonna need those for bottles later, as well as the stained glass for our you know, our money farm that we're gonna be doing. So I will expend some bombs just to get a little bit of sand to get us started, at least. This is where we died to that demon eye at nighttime. But I'm actually gonna take my grave because we're gonna need that for some stuff later, like buying corrupt seeds from the dryad. Since this is a crimson world, we can't, you know, the dryad is gonna sell crimson seeds. But if she's in a graveyard biome, she'll sell corrupt seeds to us in hard mode. Also, that was a very big hill, and this is the crimson. So we're not gonna be able to get past the crimson in one try. So we should probably turn back and see if the snow biome might be to the left. But of course, we're gonna check out this cool cave first and see what we can find. Alright, I'm not really seeing much in here. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have purchased a net from the merchant, so that we can start with oh, that's actually really good, so that we can start getting Whoa, that is a trap. Yeah, but we should have gotten a net. I think that trap was wired up to the slime. We'll get the slime statue in case we want to farm gel. There's lots of traps here. But yeah, we want to get a net so that we could start... there's a worm coming. We can start catching worms, is what I meant to say. Funny enough, there are some worms here. Now what we can do, we can keep one of the pressure plates on our hotbar. That way we can check for traps. Oh, that was a boulder trap, which is very deadly. But yeah, we can check for traps with the pressure plates that we get in the traps. So you should always keep them on your hotbar until you get a better way to look out for traps. Alright, so we got the live crystal. So that is like 160 HP now, I think. Indeed it is. So I think we're gonna head back home and go to the left this time. Before I forget, actually, so we want to buy a couple things from the merchant. A bug net so that we can catch worms and other critters for fishing. And you want to get a sickle. You can use a sickle to get hay. And the reason we want to get hay is because we want to use hay to like build stuff and like block things off. Basically, hay's gonna be our throwaway block. So instead of using like wood or stone, we'll just use hay since we can easily collect hay. And this also gets us a bunch of ammo for our blowpipe as well. So it's like getting two birds stoned at once essentially. And it's good to like hit these little like objects on the ground because they can have worms inside of them. Oh, there's a worm actually. I'm pretty sure that came from the rock that we destroyed. So it's good to destroy those rocks. That way you can get worms from them. And we'll be using, we'll set up, I'll show you guys the fishing setup I like to do. And we'll set up some fishing spots and, you know, start fishing for some stuff as well. Because there are some things we want to get, like frog leg, the balloon pufferfish, of course if you can get that, the sailfish boots, etc. We can get a bunch of good potions from crates as well. And there's just a bunch of stuff that we want to get, so we're going to try to set up a fishing spot as soon as possible. Yeah, we're still out here traveling to the left. Fortunately, haven't found snow biome yet, and it's starting to get late, so we might have to just pack it up and come back some other time. And there's also crimson on this side as well, so that means that the snow biome is most likely, you know, insulated by crimson, so it's going to be a lot difficult for us to get by into the snow biome without mobility, like, say, Hermes boots, a bottle item that gives us a double jump, etc. But that doesn't mean that we should give up. All that means is that we should probably just try to access the underground snow biome by tunneling left. So spelunking all the way to the left until we reach the underground snow biome at least. So that's what I'll attempt to do because we want to get there as soon as possible. So now we're gonna set up our little herb farm here. I like to just put a couple long platforms because I like having a lot of herbs. And you always want to start your herb farm as soon as possible. Don't slack with herbs because, you know, the potions that you can get are very good. And it's a lot easier to do in For the Worthy because we have clay blocks. And we don't have to wait for the dryad to get the planter platform things. So because of that, I'm going to just go ahead and we'll start setting up the outline. Of course, we don't have a lot of seeds, but we'll have the pots at least, so that once we do get the seeds, we can start filling it in with a bunch of herb. And I try to give like moon glow and deathweed like 2 platforms for themselves because those you can only farm at specific times. And blinkroot as well. Blinkroot is random, but I always seem to run out of blinkroot. So for deathweed, blinkroot, and moonglow, they get like their own dedicated 2 platforms so that we have more chances to harvest them, since you can only harvest deathweed during a blood moon or a full moon, and moonglow only at night, so it makes them a little bit harder to farm, I feel. At least for me. Maybe we can do that. We can like put glass around it and treat it as sort of like a greenhouse. I need some more clay pots. Is that all the clay we have? Okay, yeah. So of course, you know, we're not gonna get enough clay right off the bat. Normally what I do, I would just like use clay pots until we kill a boss and the dryad shows up. Then I'll just like fill up the rest of the space with the platforms, but I don't know when we're gonna kill a boss, when we're gonna kill Cthulhu. It's either gonna be Cthulhu or the King Slime first. We're getting a lot of fallen star drops, which is really cool, because we're gonna be turning some of these fallen stars into whatchamacallit, enchanted night crawlers. We don't have to do that right now, but it's gonna happen at some point once we start fishing. Which I should set up the fishing spot pretty soon as well. Alright, so the only seeds we have so far are just daybloom seeds, so we'll just put those at the bottom. And yeah, that's good for now. As we find more seeds, of course, like I said, we'll just fill that up. So right now we're gonna head back down and we're gonna keep digging to the caverns layer so that we can set up our pylon and our farm as well for our gem corns. And then we'll go back to the surface. Well, actually, I guess we don't really have to go back to the surface, because now that we know that Crimson is on both sides, unless we get a double jump and more mobility, there's no point for us to try to get to the snow biome just yet. At least not from the surface. So our only other option if you want to get to the snow biome right now would be for us to try to dig to it underground, which could happen if you get a lucky minecart. Oh, this is actually really nice. So Sapphire is a little bit better than Topaz, which means that we could also make our gemcorn farm from Sapphire as well. And the Sapphire hook is a little bit better, and Sapphire, the blue stained glass that you make from Sapphire is gonna cost more than the Topaz one. Also found some amethyst. So we found the cave, and there's also a minecart track, which is good, because we could take that minecart track and that could take us over to the snow biome. We'll have to check that out and see what happens. I just realized also that we forgot to put torches in the last house, so that's why the nurse isn't spawning, because we need some HP, so we're gonna go back home and do that right now. Oh, actually, if we leave the underground, I believe yeah, so we're gonna have to follow that fairy to find out what it's trying to show us. Which is kind of hard because there's a bunch of enemies. I forgot to mention that for the worthy also, I think it also increases enemy spawns, so there's gonna be more enemies than usual. So let's try to get through this and find out what the fairy is trying to show us without dying. Okay, so we got hit by the Shelly, and those guys do too much damage. But thankfully we're not at... Oh! A compass right off the bat like that from one enemy, like that's the first Shelly that we've seen, and they dropped the compass, so that's really lucky for us. And there's also a bunch of platinum here, which is also very good for us. We can upgrade our bow. But yeah, good thing that we took the life crystals, because we'd have died in one hit without it. Now I want to ride the minecart, but it's kind of dangerous because the enemies are tough. Also, you can ride over pressure plates with minecarts as well, so you want to watch out for that. So for those reasons, we're not gonna ride the minecarts. Thankfully, bats can't get you. Flying enemies usually can't go through water, so that's a safe way to not have to deal with them. You can just like put yourself in a pool of water and kill them before you drown. And you normally don't have to deal with them. Oh, cool, a life crystal. That's actually really good for us. So let's go ahead and get that life crystal. Also, we found some emerald, which emeralds are better than sapphires in the tier list. So that means that we should make our gemcorn farm out of emeralds unless we find rubies or amber. Which we are going to get amber because we need amber to make crate potions. Now, you're probably saying, what about diamonds? Diamonds aren't good to make a gemcorn farm out of because you can't make stained glass out of diamonds. Only the other rubies. Gems. But that does mean that diamond is still good to make the hook out of because the hook and the diamond mage staff are the best ones. So you do want to use diamonds and make a gemcorn farm for that reason, just to form the diamonds themselves. But you don't want to make stained glass out of them because it's impossible to, because you're not able to at all. Oh, there's also another life crystal, but I think, yeah, we have 160. Yeah, we can't. Oh god, hold on a second. Why don't we just teleport home before it's too late? Never mind. Okay, we're back home, so we're gonna fix this house so that the nurse can show up. And then we'll head back down there because we want to get that life crystal, of course. Uh-oh. Oh, I think because we grappled downward while we were falling, if you grapple downwards and grapple the ground before you hit land on the ground, you will evade fall damage. So let me demonstrate that to you. That was a bad demonstration. I'm gonna demonstrate it. You can totally grapple the ground before you hit the ground and you will evade fall damage. If I don't do this, I'm gonna die, so I hope I do it.